Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the 3 episode rule. Well, I look at a brand new anime, check out the full 3 episode, let you guys know my opinion of it, break down pretty much the full 3 episode, whatever anime we talking about, and let you know if this is something I'm interested in, keep watching, and let alone, who knows, maybe pique your interest for you to check out as well. And of course, I'm your wonderful Troy, and today we are talking about SSSS. I had to make sure I get all this though. Gridman, which is something that I honestly never thought we will see again, but here we are. So for anyone that is not familiar with Gridman, of course, some of you who grew up in the 90s might remember a little tokusatsu show by the name of Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad, which was a live action series that ran in the mid 90s using the footage of Gridman, Hyper Agent. And yeah, pretty much it was another incident of taking a Japanese superhero show, bringing it over to America, and giving it the Power Ranger treatment. And yeah, mostly for the other side of this is, of course, this was originally a kind of spin-off somewhat in the universe of the Ultraman series, which, once again, anyone familiar with Japanese superheroes should know who Ultraman is. But fast forward 20 plus however many years it had been, and we finally got our hands on a brand new series in this. And this time happened to be animated and also produced by Studio Trigger, which, by saying that name alone, some of you might know what you kind of get yourself into here. But the question is, how good is a Gridman the anime? And honestly, from checking out the full 3 episode, I do gotta say, I am very intrigued by this, because this followed the same staple of pretty much anything you see from Ultraman or any other real tokusatsu here, just now animated. And the main thing that is intriguing me the most here is just how fairly dark and interesting this is. But before we get into all that, let's begin at the beginning here, picking up with our main character, who suddenly wakes up at some random girl house and find out that he ended up passing out and have amnesia. Of course, we have heard this 100 times. But that's not what interesting about that. But pretty much how the full episode end up going is the kid, after coming to, pretty much start hearing voices from the character Gridman from inside a PC, and as he go outside of a house, he starts seeing giant kaijus in the background. And he seemed to be the only one that can actually see them at that point. And the full episode kind of built up around the thing of the mystery of what is happening here. And that's not quite the only mystery, because as the story go on here, the character itself ends up running into some of his classmates the next day at school, who start trying to fill him in on who he is or was to the knowledge. And not a lot of information really given other besides his name. And of course, one of his new friends that he met right before amnesia took effect. And pretty much his friend just get really interested in the whole idea of Gridman and wanting to meet Gridman and everything. So as he is trying his best to explain who Gridman is and try to get his friend to actually see Gridman, suddenly a kaiju attack, because this, of course, a tokusatsu. We need to have monsters show up at least one time per episode. And this is where the story itself kind of start getting very interesting, mainly because it seemed like anytime a kaiju attacks, anyone who dies in said attack, it just instantly forgot about. And suddenly the town the next day become normal again. Nothing, it blowed up, everything fixed. It's like nothing happened. But in the middle of the kaiju attack, the main character end up fusing with the I get thing that live inside the computer known as Gridman and pretty much channel into his physical form. And of course, his friend and the woman house he woke up at ended up having the PC that have Gridman stored in it for some odd reason. And think to the incident that come from all this, and of course having the friend and the woman who pretty much saved him from his amnesia or from him passing out and getting amnesia, end up thought being able to see Gridman and thought actually being able to see the kaijus as well. And when the kaiju are defeated, like I said, pretty much everything just reset back to normal, and anyone that had died instantly, and not really forgot about, more so anybody that was tied to them, mainly their parents, just all have the idea like, no, my kid died when they were a child. They've been dead for years, and we know for a fact they literally just died. And in return, that become like the main draw to this series of what exactly is happening here. Like, why is everything perfectly fine the next day? Why do people don't remember anything? And the whole time, the main character and his two friends constantly just see kaiju sitting in the distance, and at any moment could attack. And on top of that, we thought in return meeting all villains here, which I'm not going to bore who one of the main villains is, because any of it is pretty much given away by the second episode. It is still a nice little surprise, so I'm not going to ruin that for you guys who are interested in this series. But pretty much, the big bad ends up just making like kaiju out of clay model, and this other computer inside device model thing, it technically having the power to bring them alive, and that what ends up attacking people. So pretty similar to Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad. Pretty much how the premise in that was the little loser of the class ended up drawing model to attack things. Pretty much the same premise, healed only this and it now that person is actually making statues that come alive and not just drawings. So pretty much in the fourth episode, we have the setup of introducing our three main characters, introducing Gridman to them, and introducing the big question of what is happening here. Like, why did that person have the power to make monster? Who is Gridman? Who is this other person that is like Gridman but evil, who can bring the monster alive? Why are people forgetting what's happening? And why do it literally just seem like Groundhog Day and everything ends up being perfectly fine? That is the big draw here to this all. And as the 3 episodes continue onward, we start being introduced to other characters that for whatever reason have the power to go inside the PC as well to become weapons, such as like weapons like swords or like add-ons for like special attack, melee stuff, missiles, like that type of deal. And in these 3 episodes, and nothing is really a point when it comes to them. They just kind of show up, and it's like they know what's happening, but they're not really telling anybody for some reason. So we also have that as another mystery thrown on top of all of this. And yeah, that is pretty much the 4th episode in a nutshell. It's pretty much like figuring out the mystery, trying to figure it out, still not finding what the mystery is. But trying to figure it out as a whole, introducing the other character that don't really add much beyond just having, you know, the stereotype of the big bad character, of the big, like, broody character, having a smart mouth little girl, having a lazy dude, and so on. You know, the normal character tropes here. But as far as them adding anything to the story, they don't, as of the 3 episode, but I imagine as it go on, more and more stuff will probably start hopefully making sense. Who knows at that point? Since this series is only going to be 12 episodes, so pretty short. And at the time of the video, if you are watching the Funimation dub, they are up to episode 5. So the subtitle probably a little farther than that. But I was watching the dub here. And yeah, overall, this series seemed to very much be following the tropes of tokusatsu, and honestly doing it pretty well in an anime form, to the point of reusing animation, which could be a bad thing, But, like I said, Tokusatsu does that on a regular basis of using finishers and transformation, over and over again. If that's something that bothers you, that might be something you might want to, realize in this. And really my only other complaint I have, at least in the first couple episodes, seem to have a lot of scenes that literally drawn out and not animated at all. Just seem to be very much like still pictures with monologues or just like a little bit of panning happening. So the animation every once in a while seems to come to a screeching halt, but that might be because of the actual combat being quite the spectacle here. If all the combat scenes all done in CG for the most part, it still do a very good job of not standing out too much, and also getting a vibe across that the people who are fighting Gridman, the monsters, whoever else might pop up, actually capture that weighted vibe you get from watching live action Tokusatsu stuff, especially once you start getting into like the Ultraman, the Super Sentai, stuff like that with giant monsters and suits. It really do a good job at capturing that vibe of these things all weighted, and the mobility have, more of a like not so I get not so loose and really feel like it grounded into what they are doing, if they are doing over the top stuff. So with it coming from Trigger, honestly, the fight scenes are, just totally a fun to be had here because of the spectacle at all that I can see for this. So yeah, what part of this, depending on your opinion, is of course that we use animation, and animation deals really, in some cases, dragging down some of the episodes, and in return, making, anywhere from like 30 seconds to a minute each episode being deals. So, yeah, I don't know the animation budget was just safe for the combat or what the deal, but it is very noticeable nonetheless. So, overall, after watching these 3 episodes, I am really intrigued. I want to know what's happening. Why no one remembering anything? Will the people getting the power to make monsters, let alone have the, like, AI, sentient, like, things living in PCs? Like, I want to know. And with this only being 12 episodes, it should hopefully move pretty quick and hopefully kind of cut out a lot of baggage that come from at least the live action Tokusatsu stuff, which in return can really drag down the story. So hopefully that won't be the case here. We will see once this series actually wrap up. And with that being said, if you are interested in SSSS Gridman, it is available right now. Funimation, I believe Crunchyroll as well, probably has the subtitles up, and up to episode 5 in the dub as of now. So yeah, well, I stand after the last 3 episodes of like, I'm interested, I'm intrigued, I'm kind of giddy from, every moment of it, because it's really nice to see a Tokusatsu once again that seemed to be way more grounded and can get pretty dark for the most part. But if that's not your jam, I totally understand it. But for me, I'm going to keep watching it, and I will probably come back once all 12 episodes have been put out by Funimation, and I will give you guys my full opinion at that point. So anyway, that is my opinion. Let me know what yours is. And of course, link to where you can watch it will be in the little chat thingy below the video. So you guys can click on the wonderful links and head over and watch it for yourself. So, yeah. Anyway, that will do it for me. I'm of course your wonderful, wonderful Troy. I'm going to go watch more. You guys keep watching anime, and I will catch you next time. So to then, have a good one, guys. Bye.